Hello everyone, I am Lokesh. Welcome to the lecture 2. In this lecture, we will see the first topic which is servo system architectures. The servo systems can be broadly categorized as transaction servers or data servers. Transaction server systems are also called query server systems. Provide an interface to which clients can send requests to perform an action, in response to which they execute the action and send back results to the client. Usually, client machines ship transactions to the server systems where those transactions are executed and results are shipped back to clients that are in charge of displaying the data. Requests may be specified by using SQL or through a specified application program interface. The second one is data server systems, which allow clients to interact with the servers by making requests to read or update data in units such as file or pages. For example, file servers provide a file system interface where clients can create, update, read and delete files. Data servers for database systems offer much more functionality. They support units of data such as pages, tuples, or objects that are smaller than a file. They provide indexing facilities for data and provide transaction facilities so that data are never left in the inconsistent state if a client machine or process fails. And Here we will see the classification of database management system. So classification based on data model. uh, there are two types of data model. First one is relational data model and the second one is object oriented data model. The second classification is based on user numbers, single user system and multi user system, and the third classification based on database distribution. First is centralized and distributed, and the distributed database distribution is further divided into two types: homogeneous and heterogeneous. Why is database design important? Database designs provide the blueprints of how the data is going to be stored in the system. A proper design of a database highly affects the overall performance of any application. The designing principles defined for a database give a clear idea of behavior of any application and how the requests are processed. Another instance to emphasize the database design is that a proper database design meets all the requirements of users. Lastly, the processing time of an application is greatly reduced if the constraint of designing a highly efficient database are properly implemented. Database design can be generally defined as a collection of tasks or processes that enhance the designing, development, implementation, and maintenance of an enterprise data management system. It simply means mapping of conceptual model to implementation model. Phase 1: requirements collection and analysis. Phase 2: conceptual database design. Phase 3: choice of a DBMS. Phase 4: data model mapping. Phase 5: physical database design. Phase 6: database system implementation and tuning. Phases of database design: requirements collection and analysis, identifying users, interacting with user to gather requirements, time consuming but very important. Second one is conceptual database design, produce a conceptual schema for the database that is independent of a specific DBMS, involves two parallel activities: conceptual schema design, and the second one is transaction and application design. Approaches for conceptual schema design: centralized schema design approach, also known as a one-shot approach. Requirements of different applications and user groups are merged into a single set of requirements and a single schema is designed. Time consuming, place the burden on the DBA to reconcile conflicts. View integration approach. Schema is designed for each user group or application. These schemas are then merged into a global conceptual schema during the view integration phase, and this approach is more practical. Strategies for schema design. First one is top-down strategy. Start with a schema containing high-level abstractions and then apply successive top-down refinements. Second one is bottom-up strategy. Start with a schema containing basic abstractions and then combine or add to these abstractions. Inside out strategy. Start with central set of concepts and then spread outward by considering new concepts in the vicinity of existing ones. And the last one is mixed strategy. Use a combination of top down and bottom up strategies. And phases of database design. Many factors to consider for choice of DBMS. Phase 3. Technical factors, economic factors, organizational factors. Phases of database design. Data model mapping, phase 4. During this phase, which is also called logical database design, we map the conceptual schema from the high level data model used in phase 2 into the data model of the chosen DBMS. We can start this phase after choosing a specific type of DBMS. For example, if we decide to use some relational DBMS but have not decided on which particular one, we call the latter system independent logical design. Physical database design, phase 5. During this phase, we design the specifications for the stored database in terms of physical storage structure, record placement, and indexes. This corresponds to designing the internal schema and the terminology of the three-level DBMS architecture. And the phase 1, database system implementation and tuning. In this phase, the database and application programs are implemented, tested, and eventually deployed for the service. Various transactions and applications are tested individually and then in conjunction with each other. This typically reveals opportunities for physical design changes, data indexing, reorganization, and different placement of data. An activity referred to as database tuning. Tuning is an ongoing activity, a part of system maintenance that continues for the life cycle of a database as long as the database and applications keep evolving and performance problems are detected.